Hey, what is going on, everybody? Jerma here with some Galactic Phantasy Prelude. Now, before anybody says, oh my god, what the hell is this game? I've never heard of this, I'm out of here. Just bear with me for a second. Maybe you saw the title. This is not going to be a gameplay commentary of this game. I'm not going to talk about this game really at all, besides the fact of one very specific detail that, of course, is very, very important. I'm in this game. I am a voice actor in this game. I have almost 100 lines. And that's going to be the discussion and the topic of this video. Going to talk about voice acting, going to talk about my voice acting, quote, career, if you could even call it that, and that sort of stuff. So, before I say anything about voice acting or the gameplay or anything like that in general, the link in the description is going to take you to the iTunes store for this game. This is not a PC game, this is not a console game, this is an iOS game. So it's going to be on your iPhone, your iPad, and I don't think it's on Android. It could be. I could be completely wrong with that. But the iTunes link is going to be there. And yeah, I'm in this game. I voice acted the whole thing as the character Matt. So you are free to go download that. It's, I believe, 99 cents for the iPhone version. And you'll hear me talk through the course of the game as you play through. It's got a whole storyline. It's got a beginning, middle, and end. I'm not sure how difficult the game is. I know it's a very, very intense shooting kind of RPG type game, so I don't know if you can blow right through the game in 15 minutes. It's probably going to take you a while to hear all my lines if that's what you're playing the game for, but it is there in the description nonetheless. So let's actually take a listen to a couple of lines that I have, just so you can see and kind of hear what's going on. I'm not going to do too many, just going to do maybe one or two lines in a row, and we'll get back to the meat and potatoes of this video, which is going to be my story, I guess, of how I got to this position, how I got to do this game, and other various things like that, because I'm so passionate about voice acting, guys. I've been doing it for a long time, off and on, doing flash cartoons, doing little stuff like this, and I'm so passionate about this, and I see comments all the time telling me, Jerma, you have so many voices, you do so many characters, you gotta try to get into voice acting, and I would love to answer these type of questions in these comments in a Q&A video, but there's just so much to talk about, and there's such a big backstory with this, that it has to be its own video. I would never be comfortable doing this in like a 2-minute question and answer period. So, without further ado, let's get started here. I'm going to show you a couple of clips back to back as me as the character Matt, and when we get back, we shall talk about some more stuff, so enjoy, guys.
Do I look like a traitor to you? What do we do now? Buy it?
Yes, spend everything we have!
Everything? Are you sure about this?
Well, nothing's certain. If it starts going downhill, I guess we can pull out from the market and find something else.
Okay then, how do we do this?
We need to go to the other starports to sell. Our computer can't tell us how much each good is selling for. We can only check the prices at the markets.
I see. Buy some plutonium right away. Set a course for Abaddon Starport. Matt, send a communication to Freeport authorities. Tell them what happened here and get them to send rescue shuttles immediately.
Having a pirate call the authorities? You know, irony aside, we should move. We're probably wanted men for stealing this ship already, and I don't want to be locked up for the rest of my life.
Excuse me, I'm not sure how to repay you, but I'm an engineer. I can operate most types of machinery. My family was killed by the slavers, so I have nowhere else to go. May I join you? I need to know for myself why this is happening.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around to listen to the backstory now of how I got into this sort of stuff and why I got into it and how this has shaped this YouTube channel. And if I did not get into voice acting when I did, I probably would not have been even doing this YouTube channel. I probably wouldn't even have attempted this YouTube channel. But let's back up. Let's go back to when I was a younger kid, when I was probably like 10, 11, or 12 years old. And that's imitating people. I used to sit around and just listen to my grandparents talk. They used to have people come over for bridge. If you were an old subscriber, you probably already know this story. But I'll tell it again for those of you that might be new to the channel or might be a somewhat recent subscriber. I used to sit there watching TV and listen to my grandparents have people over for bridge, and there would be like 10 people over there all yelling at each other, all talking a bunch of trash, all trying to like figure out whose bet was what bet, and I would just sit there and listen to them. And I would be repeating their voices in my head over and over again. And then, when nobody was around, of course, I didn't just, like, walk up to the table and was like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm gonna, like, do all your voices in front of you. When I was alone, I would just do them out loud and just laugh, and it was pretty much just self-entertainment. And I really, truly think that if you are a voice actor, or you want to get into voice acting, or you're one of those people that can self-entertain yourself, that's where you start. You kind of just make goofy faces in the mirror, and you do goofy voices in the mirror, and you make yourself laugh. And then eventually you take those ideas and you take those voices that you're doing, and you do it to other people. You do it to your friends, you do it to your other family members, and they're like, oh, how did you learn how to do that? And you say, well, I just pass the time with it. I just, do it in the mirror, have fun. I think it's funny. I mean, that's where everybody starts. And the same thing with something like beatboxing as well. I mean, I'm not the best beatboxer in the world, but a lot of you guys that have heard me do random little beatboxes before, I just did that for fun. I would just sit there playing a video game and do it. And I would do it all day. And I would just eventually get good enough at it where I did it to other people, and they was like, oh, geez, cool. You can, like, kind of do that. That's cool. And when I got to an older age, when I got to be, maybe I'd say like 16, 17, or 18, right towards that college age, I started talking to myself, and I'd say, what if I did this for a living? What if I could really make these voices or make these things part of my everyday life and try to entertain people, try to make people laugh as my job? And it was around this point when I started to peruse the internet for other people that potentially had the same interests as me, and try to find some place to hang out with maybe other people that were interested in voice acting and talking in general into a microphone. And this is a real testament, guys, as to why the internet is truly a fantastic place. Because without the internet, I don't think I would have ever tried to do any of this stuff, or anything to do with talking into a microphone or playing games and talking or voice acting. Plus, on top of that, I've met some lifelong friends from doing this whole voice acting thing and getting involved in the forums and stuff like that. And it's pretty amazing to see, because some of these guys are on Cartoon Network right now doing voices for the primetime shows. So it's amazing to know that. It's amazing to meet these people. You're all starting in the same area. You're all trying to help each other out and see where you guys are going to succeed. And watching a lot of these people that I'm friends with succeed to a level that they are right now, not only is it a humbling thing to see that, it is, you just feel so good knowing that you have people that you've been friends with for a while that have been trying so hard, that are succeeding in something. And talking about present day, moving on to where I am now, doing this kind of talking into a microphone over gameplay, and doing even stuff like comedy videos and skit videos and stuff like that. All the knowledge that I have gained from doing the voice acting thing for so long, editing audio files, editing video files, going to college and learning about production value and learning all sorts of things, meeting more friends, meeting more people, that's kind of how I got to right here, guys. If I had never done any of these things, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. And I would say, with the utmost bottom of my heart, complete sincerity, if you have an idea, or if you have something you've always wanted to try, and you never did it, and maybe you're sitting on it right now, stop right now, click this video, click pause on this goddamn video, and go do it now. Don't wait any longer. Go do it now. Because I've talked about this before, guys. I spent years doing absolutely nothing. And if I look back, I can look back to myself, my old self. If I had a friggin' time machine, I would go back there and I would kick myself in the ass so hard that I would have puked rainbows. Like, I would have made myself get off my ass and do stuff 4 or 5 years ago. So take my advice on this, guys. If you have something you want to try it now. Do it tonight. Start it tonight. So that is going to wrap up the video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, link in the description for Galactic Phantasy Prelude. And I will keep you guys up to date if I do any more voice acting, or if I do any more paid jobs, I guess, or if I'm in another video game or something like that. I'll keep you guys in the loop. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys all next time. Of course, take care, everybody.